Imagine losing everything in a flood. Your couch, all your belongings, the actual house. It's all gone, but you had a lifeline. You had flood insurance. What a difference it made when it came to financial recovery. However, did you really know how much coverage you needed? Are you going to be disappointed come claims time? Well, in today's video, that's exactly what we're talking about, are coverage limits. What exactly do you need when it comes to flood insurance? But before we get started, make sure to share, subscribe, and like the channel so others can find the same valuable content we're about to provide to you in this video. Hi, I'm Chris, the flood insurance guru, and more than 12 years ago, I bought a house in a flood zone, just like this right here. I wasn't real sure how much coverage I needed, so I just took what the government offered me. The bad news is it wasn't nearly enough coverage, and that's exactly why I'm making this video here for you today, so you don't make the same mistake I did more than 12 years ago. Meet the Johnson family, who after experiencing a flood realized they did not have enough flood insurance coverage. So they started shopping around, trying to figure out how much coverage they needed. And this is when they discovered there's a big difference between the National Flood Insurance Program and private flood insurance. Let's talk about the National Flood Insurance Program first. Now, the National Flood Insurance Program, on buildings like this right here, the $250,000 on the building and $100,000 on contents here up to 2024. That could be changing in the future. But those are the current coverages that they offer. They don't offer anything outside that building or contents coverage. They don't offer replacement cost on contents either. Now let's talk about private flood insurance. It's a good thing the Johnson family discovered a local insurance agent that could help them with their flood insurance because they discovered private flood insurance and they discovered what a difference it can be in the National Flood Insurance Program. Remember, private flood insurance does not limit their coverages to $250,000 on a building. They don't limit it to $100,000 in contents. They also provide replacement costs on contents. Now, these can be big, especially if you're trying to get more than that $250,000. They potentially also offer additional living expense. Remember, additional living expenses, say your house floods. Let's take the customer we had in Nebraska whose house flooded in 2018 and she didn't have a place to go, but her neighbors had a National Flood Insurance Program policy. She had a private policy that had additional living expense. She had a hotel paid for 6 months while her house was being prepared. This was a major financial blanket for her. It took a lot of stress off of her compared to what her neighbors had. So this is one of the benefits here of having additional living expenses on your policy. But remember, only private flood insurance offers it. So these are some of the differences between the National Flood Insurance Program and private flood insurance when it comes to coverages. Now, if you want to dive deeper into pricing and the other videos on the National Flood Insurance Program and private, click up here in the corner to continue down this playlist of watching these different videos when we talk about things like availability, pricing, claims, all these different things. You also download the guide down in this video on flood insurance. You can even start a quote there in 3 simple steps if you would like. I'm Chris, the flood insurance guru, and I want to say thank you for watching today's video on the difference in coverages with the National Flood Insurance Program, private flood insurance.